I gotta hit the machine.
Motion for approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
First one approved by Director Evans and Director Balentine. All in favor?
Aye.
And none opposed. Motion carries. Item number 2, community announcements.
I have some. Okay, I'll go. We have a Plain Crazy Saturday coming up on the 16th of February. And our speakers are going to be my friends from Ridgecrest, Shar, and Gary Spencer. Now, I know Shar from the 99s. We've been in the 99s for a long time together. But they fly an unusual rattan design. It's a long easy, but it's powered with a Ford V8 aluminum block, racing engine 302. And he's an engineer, but he was an electrical engineer with Texas Instruments. But obviously he must have been a hot rod guy too, because he has it tricked out. And when it starts, it doesn't start like a normal airplane. It explodes into action. So I thought it might be fun for everyone to hear how he stuffed a Ford V8 into a long easy, and asked him if he could bring some pictures and get as technical as he wanted to, because we have lots of engineers that come to Plain Crazy Saturday. So rain or shine, we'll be here. If it's nice, they'll bring the airplane. If it's crummy, they'll probably drive over. But anyway, hope you can make it. Yeah, he'll drive his airplane over. Oh gosh, no. And one other thing, I was online at the Reagan Library archives and ran across this article about when the Voyager crew and designer were presented the Presidential Citizens Medals. And Bill just informed me that it was his brother that recommended that. But I sent the article to Dick, and then he wrote back this top part. What did he say? Of all the accolades showered upon us, one of the most meaningful came from President Ronald Reagan, when on December 29th, just 6 days following the flight, he presented Gina, Bert, and me with a Presidential Citizens Medal. It had only been awarded 16 times in our country's history. Following is the event transcript in its entirety, directly from the Reagan Library archives. So anyway, I gave a copy to each of the board members. I just thought it was cool, and I don't want to forget our last meeting about thinking about Rattan Field. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Is there any other community announcements? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered routine, non-controversial, and will be approved by one motion unless a board member, staff, or public request to remove an action item. Is there any public comment? Any board comment?
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Evans, seconded by Mr. Deaver. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. On to item number 4, action items, budget revision.
Good afternoon. We are presenting the revised budget for approval for board consideration. This is our mid-year update, which is kind of standard. We're trying to get everything wrapped up through December, present to the board first meeting in February. Believe it or not, the grand totals are very close when you look at just the bottom lines, but there are some changes throughout that I just wanted to highlight in the staff memo. The largest one being the FA project. So at the time when we drafted the budget, drafted in May, and presented in June, we didn't know what the scope of the project was going to be for the FA Taxiway Bravo extension, so we included the entire project in the budget. In August, we actually got that project approved, which was really only half that project. So that's the largest change to the budget in terms of dollars overall for both the revenue and expense categories. So the revenue and the expense will essentially offset each other for the bulk of that, the project. So happy to answer any other questions the board might have on some of the other.
I'm just curious about one on the utilities.
Yes.
was up over 10%, what was the?
So we're actually digging into this a little bit to try to understand so this is gonna be power, water, gas, anything except for phone. So all the phone, internet goes under communications, which we're pretty much in line with. But we are investigating this a little bit just to try to understand why, everything keeps going up.
All of them go up in California.
Primarily the water, because there's been a change recently to MPUD's rate structure. And then also if you recall, the deal that we worked out with MPUD, I think it was 2 years ago now, the sewer rates are gonna continue escalating each year. So we're looking into this now just to try to understand exactly what's going up.
I have a question on supplies. Why are you significantly increasing that revised budget amount? So it's over double.
So again, supplies is sort of the catch-all for everything that's office related, anything that's essentially under $5,000. So when we changed the rules last year to accommodate the capitalized items of $5,000 or more, all of those items are, I should say most of those items are going to go under the reserve designations for equipment. One of the things that the auditors advise us is to make sure that we're really clear on splitting out what's capitalized and what's not capitalized. So if you'll notice, in addition to the supplies increasing, we're also splitting out non-capital equipment under the reserve designation and setting aside some funds there. So
So really, in essence, we went from 200 to 625.
for small equipment, that is true. Yep. So that's
What do we plan on
computers,
spending?
servers, office supplies, basically anything that's under $5,000.
I got that part. That's
Software.
a lot of
software's
$5,000 here and there.
Yeah.
So I was just curious what it was.
So
Why we're enhancing the budget figure? Because there's some planned expenses coming before your fiscal year, and is that why you've increased this? And if
For
so, what are those?
supplies, yes. So we've got some software purchases, for instance. We've got the Prodigic implementation. That's probably going under supplies, I would imagine, because it's all software.
And fuel that all of our vehicles use, that also goes under supplies, so anything. that's
Fuel,
spent to-
our company vehicle fuel goes under supplies.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
okay.
That needs to come to an end as far as I'm concerned. Not the fuel,
Okay.
just be recategorized. What else was in there? There was another thing in there I didn't like. Can't, before fuel, you talked about fuel. There was something
Computer
else.
equipment, software, office supplies.
Is it tire radios?
That'll be capitalized, which we haven't purchased yet, but that'll get purchased under this equipment line item under the reserve designation. That'll be the tower radios. We can come back with a full report on each
That-
of these.
I don't know that I need a full report. If you could just offline tell me what makes up most of that expected budget increase, that's all I'm concerned about.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's stuff we've talked about and approved. I just need to be reminded, I'm sure.
Is there any public comment on the budget revision? Is there any more board comment? Take a motion to accept the budget revision.
Motion.
And a second? Second. First by Director Deaver, second by Director Allred. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Motion passes unanimously. Go to board resolution, amending board policy 400, airport uses, section 4116.
So if you recall, we brought this back to the board. This is just an update to the airport uses policy, but we made several changes. After we revised the operations policy, we extracted some of those sections, brought them in here. But the one area the board had some questions on last meeting was under filming and photography, which is section 4-1.16. So Scott really has revised this section to, we think, accommodate the requests that were made last meeting. Hopefully the directors have had some time to read through there and just make sure everyone's in agreement. So we've separated out commercial from personal and press as well, including some definitions.
Yeah, I think they look pretty good.
Is there any public comment on the adoption of board policy 400?
Is there a copy of that you have, by chance?
I don't have it printed out, but it's in the board packet.
Okay, online?
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Is there any board comment?
I have a question. So, as I was contemplating this since we last met, if we have control behind the fence, that means if somebody's doing something we don't like, we can escort them back to the other side of the fence, correct? So my question then becomes, if we have that power, what do we need a photography? Why do we have to have that in our code at all?
So really what we're looking for is for some guidance from the board to empower staff to actually enforce it. So when we get inquiries from our customers, if somebody comes to us saying, somebody's out here taking pictures of my property, can you please send security out? We need a mechanism to be able to enforce that.
Well, and that's why I stated what I stated. If we have the authority to take somebody and have them move off the ramp to the other side of the fence, if they're out snapping pictures, security goes up and says, you need to go to the other side of the fence. You're in an area that, the public just can't be run around on. Then why do we have to have a policy regarding film and photography? We can have them move to the other side of the fence. That's our power.
David, there are two reasons for that. One is, as Karina mentioned, is so that it's clear that staff and security are able to do that the board has delegated that authority to them. And the second is to put the public on notice that this is what is and is not allowed on the airport property. So that way, if we have any problems, if we have any issues, and a question of notice ever comes up, no one can claim that they didn't know that the district had a policy on this.
Okay, that answers my question. Thank you.
Is this all, and you, in the notes, or correspondence back and forth, this is pretty much standard at airports all over the place. Okay.
I've never seen it as a policy anywhere, but I'm at a lot of airports. Maybe I just start reading the wrong signs.
Well, but this is a little unique type of airport. This is an air and spaceport, and we do a lot of good stuff here.
This is an airport. Just you're correct. It is a spaceport as well, but this airport, what's done here could be done. It could be done in California City. I mean, airports are airports. Public use airports are public use airports. That's my opinion, but that's okay. I support it.
Is there any other board comment or questions? I'll accept the motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
First by Mr. Director Deaver, second by Director Evans. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposed? Board passes unanimously. On to number 5, public hearing. An ordinance to amend the bylaws relating to director compensation. I now open this hearing. Mr. Nave, please introduce.
Yeah, so this is in relation to the new law regarding director compensation. The law requires that there be an ordinance, and we're required to have public hearing on this. If there are no questions from the public, then the motion that I would recommend is a motion to approve the ordinance with a waiving of the title, with a reading of the title and a waiving of the further reading of the ordinance.
Is there any public comment? Yes, sir.
What is the compensation rate at the present time?
$100 per meeting. This would go up 5% per year, but not starting till 2020. So it's an extra $5.
It's been that way since the formation of the district.
It's pretty much standard for these kinds of, when I was on the FPPC, we got $100 a meeting. And car fare to Sacramento, and hotel room.
My God.
I earned every penny of it. Just driving the I-5, I earned it.
Yeah.
Is there any other public comment? I'll bring it back to the directors. Any board comment? I'll accept a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second?
As read by our counsel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Are you gonna accept your huge
So,
raise?
so 4-1.
Yeah.
Director Evans saying no.
It's so absurd that Sacramento made all this rigmarole for $5 for us. So just
I
no,
know.
I don't care. I
Close
don't
this
care one way or the
I
other.
don't think it originated in Sacramento, it probably originated with the agencies all over the state.
Well, yeah, and probably sat in the bureaucracy for 15 years. That's why it's what it is.
Did you get that, Mr. Nave?
Would you rather not?
4-1 vote, yes, I got that, thank you.
Thank you, sir. The hearing is closed. Move on to item 6, staff reports, financial reports.
This is for the financial reports for the month ending December 31st, 2018. The bank balance decreased to $167,000. That was primarily due to some of the FAA expenses going out. We'd received the monies in November and checks were clearing in December. You'll see on the fuel sales year to date is 480,000 gallons at this point, halfway through the year. We don't have anybody on the over 90 days aging at this point, so we are working with a couple customers. They're getting close, but no one is on it at this point.
That's nice.
And then the report for the gym membership. As far as the revenue goes, it's about the same. They have lost 20 members according to this report.
I'm ready for my questions when the chair allows me.
Okay, and that's because they had cleaned up some of the people who were not paying, so they have removed them from the membership listing.
Any director comments?
I have questions, sir.
Questions, please.
So we're funding this monthly deficit in the gym. And I can't tell, I realize I'm CPA, but without a calculator, I'm completely handicapped. I don't know what this total adds up to, but it's a lot. It doesn't matter what but my question is, where is this showing up in the budget? The funding of this deficit?
Outside services. So
Outside services.
we're essentially outsourcing everything to Elevation, as more or less a consultant or professional services, I suppose, in that category.
I'd like to make a request that we no longer do that. That if this is going to be an expense center, a cost center of the airport, that it has its own line item. That's my request. I don't know how my colleagues feel about that.
I agree.
Can't just bury it?
I want it out there for the public to see.
No, it's true, it's one of those things.
CEO report, please.
I'm gone next week. I'll be in DC for the CSF meetings, semi-annual meetings, and the FAA conference, which is going on according to plan, even though the FAA backed out during the government shutdown, so it's a little bit interesting. So it's just gonna be an industry conference, really. And I just wanted to gauge the board on the AV Board of Trade Conference coming up February 22nd. They're doing a half-day conference. I think it still starts at 7:30 through lunchtime. If any of the directors would like to attend, please let us know. We have a limited number of seats, so we just want to make sure we've got enough
I'm gonna
reserved.
go.
Because it'll be longer than a half-day program. What happened when it did here?
The time everybody starts leaving, anyway.
When he gets up to speak,
Comment,
you're done.
you said the board of supervisors that the state of the county want to play a larger role in the Mojave community. In what way? And
So-
is that a good thing or not?
It is. So interestingly, and in fact, Amanda, is Amanda here? I'm here. Amanda's here. She's helping to lead this effort as well. So we met, myself, TSC scaled, Rick as well, so he's gonna participate in these meetings. We met with the county, with Zach, Lorelei, Chris Hancock, and Richard Chapman, and several other folks, back in October, I think it was, to just really see how we can partner better. What, when we have asks in the county, for community things, I just wanted to really bring to their attention the fact that everything that happens within this fence line, we can't really, this is it, this is our only impact area. We can't really influence anything that happens outside the fence. And this is where we want to get more county support. When, businesses are coming to town, looking to set up shop here, always happy to host them, but there's not a lot I can do to, to take action on anything that community, or anything that happens on the community side. So that was kind of the point of getting everyone together. Interestingly, Enrico had reached out to Zach about making sure, TSC and some of the other companies in Mojave were mentioned during the Board of Supervisors or the State of the County dinner. And Zach's response was, I'm happy to make the recommendation, but Couch is going to be the incoming chairman. But it was interesting, as we were sitting there at the dinner, we got not one but two mentions throughout the speech. So it's clear to me, that sends a pretty strong signal to me that the Board of Supervisors is taking a stronger interest in Mojave and in the region. Not specifically Mojave, but in East Kern. You know, it's not just this one-off signal, but the fact that the OAA funding came through for East Kern, and now Amanda is dedicated for economic
That
development. in this
originated
area.
too with the county.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's good, it's all good news, and we're hopeful to continue building a stronger partnership, you know, the airport and the county specifically.
By the way, I have almost daily communication with one of Mr. Cox's staffers,
Oh, good.
which is much more I have with current or own supervisor or the staff.
Okay. Yeah, it's good, it's very encouraging.
Yeah,
So-
no, good, that's
I
great.
thought the dinner was.
The chamber's doing that kind of stuff too. I've had phone conversations yesterday with people from the housing authority on some
Okay.
issues that we're constantly trying to do.
Excellent,
So we'll keep working on that.
great,
And I want to talk to you about that after the meeting.
okay.
Director Evans, did you have something?
Oh,
Your thinking is so loud, it's kind of weird. Getting a little feedback.
well, Karina and I had a meeting with Zach. How long ago was that?
Last summer, I think.
It was in the summertime. And one of the things that I had requested at that meeting, and I don't know how far we've gone down this route, but I wanted to be able to get a better handle on the tax revenues generated for the county from this economic engine. I don't know what their capability is of finding those numbers or producing those numbers, but has there been any progress in that?
I got a report from them, but it's not exactly what we were looking for,
Mhm.
so we'll have to continue working with them to be probably a little bit more specific about what types of taxes are generated. So,
The AOPA, you get the AOP daily, I think they have a publication that helps airports find out what their airport is generating. I see that in the little, down at the bottom of the page every once in a while. You might check on that.
okay,
That, in fact, I talked to Richard Chapman about doing something like that here a year or so ago. And that, Amanda, that might be something really good that we could show people what we are generating.
That'd be fantastic.
No, that's a good idea.
Oh, absolutely. I'll put you in touch with people. That'd be great.
Anyway,
we'll make this a topic. So the follow-up meeting is gonna be February 22nd with the county. Rick's gonna be participating in that one as well. That's the first
Good,
one,
great.
where will that take place?
yes. Here.
Is that something that I could be invited to?
Sure.
Right,
I'll find out, so I know it's gonna be Zach and Lorelei, I don't know who else from the county will be attending.
That's the same day as Board of
Board of
Trade.
Trade, so it'll be that afternoon, yeah.
Is there anything else on the CEO report?
That was all I had.
We have no board committees, board of directors. Any items not on the agenda you want to comment about?
That was the worst Super Bowl game I've ever seen.
Who watched it, right?
It made a difference who lost or won.
Nobody
I want to
did.
talk about the halftime.
Nobody bothered.
Item 7, public comment on items not on the agenda. Is there any? All right, thank you, everybody. We'll now move into closed session.
Thank you very much.